So tonight we continue on with the theme for this month, which is Your Body is a Temple. Tonight's topic is Move Your Body. So far this month, we've explored body image and nutrition as ways to care for the sacred temple, which is your body. Tonight we will explore movement. Moving your body supports you not only in the physical sense, but also mentally, emotionally, and spiritually as well. There is a huge connection between the mind and the body. When we exercise, powerful chemicals called endorphins are released that energize your spirits and make you feel good all over. Exercise promotes neural growth, and so that is the opening of the neural pathways in the brain, and reduces inflammation, which enables us to stave off chronic illnesses. For example, movement, as we all know, is essential for cardiovascular health. By keeping blood vessels that lead to the brain open and healthy, this also lowers the incidence of heart disease, diabetes, Alzheimer's, and cancer. By exercising, we literally keep our brain from shrinking too much. Now, it shrinks generally as we age, but we can stave that off a bit if we exercise, that actually because we're helping our blood vessels. Daily movement promotes better sleep, and we all know how important that is for our overall well-being. Also, it's important for pain management because inactivity causes our joints to become stiff and inflexible, and that results in pain. In our breathing and meditation practice, we emphasize moving our spine in 6 directions. We talk about that pretty much just about every time we meet. And we know that when we do that, we keep that foundation, our spine, lubricated and supple and flexible. It's so important. When we don't move our body, we lose flexibility, strength, and balance. And these things are important at any age, but especially as we age. Because as we get older, there's a risk of falling. So the more we keep that core strength intact and build on it and keep it strong and healthy, the more we're going to prevent something like falling. And we also can retain our ability to live with ease and independence. So how do we incorporate movement into our everyday lives, especially when on a caregiving journey, when our time is so precious and often limited? I would first say, start with something fun. Start with an exercise that you perceive as being fun. Find something you like to do: walking, running, bicycling, swimming, tennis, dancing, Zumba. Anything to get the legs moving and the heart pumping. Then hone in on target areas. Strength training, which is using weights or the weight of your own body as resistance to maintain muscle mass and function and get all of those muscle groups moving and keeping the body balanced. So we wouldn't want to just move muscles on one side of the body. We move muscles all over the body. And in yoga, that's why we do things on both sides, to stay in balance. Next, add exercise for flexibility to keep the joints limber through their full range of motion. Yoga is great for this, by the way. Not that I'm partial or anything, but the essence of yoga, when you think about it, is moving your body, keeping the joints lubricated and just fluid. And then it's that whole mind-body connection. It's the breathing and the meditation and the movement all together. That is what yoga is all about. So it's perfect for exercise. Everything we do in breathing and meditation and mindful movement here at Courage to Caregivers can be done on your own during the course of your week. So anytime you feel like you need to, just slip into chair pose. You know chair pose. Just kind of sit back on your heels, standing, but let the weight go back in your heels and find your core strength there. So this is a really good core strengthening posture. Or slip into tree pose. This is for balance. You know, you're standing on one leg, grounding into the earth with the other, and lifting the other leg and drawing all your energy up through the midline. We're going to do that a little bit later tonight. Or just flow through some sun salutations for flexibility. And this is a wonderful way. In sun salutations, you get everything. You get movement up, you get movement down, you get to use your core strength, you get to fold forward in a standing forward fold. And so sun salutations are just such a pivotal part of yoga. It's an excellent way to get full range of motion exercise. So find out what suits you best and then make it a habit, because you deserve to live a wonderful, healthy life. You really do. Having said that, let's do a little breathing and meditation right now. So I invite you to get really comfortable in your chair here. Just kind of shift your weight from one side to the other to make sure you're nice and balanced. Placing your feet on the floor, rooting down into the earth and really finding that connection. And then rolling your shoulders up to your ears and then let them settle softly back down. Keeping your back body nice and straight and tall. Little bit of lift through the crown of the head. And just make sure that you're holding your face and your head so that your ears are over the shoulder and you're not leaning too far forward or back. Everything is nice and aligned. And then palms are face down in your lap or face up, whatever is most comfortable for you. Good, and then I invite you to close the eyes and begin to breathe in and out of the nose, in and out, in and out. Good, and just start to let your body settle in, start to soften. Notice any tension you might be holding, and then allow the breath to direct that away. Just allow that to fall away. And then any thoughts that you might be carrying, any worries or concerns, just notice them without judgment, and then also let them slowly float away like a little cloud on a summer day. They won't impact your practice at all tonight. And then just continuing to breathe here, in and out, in and out. Good. And then I invite you to take 3 cleansing breaths with me. So to do a cleansing breath, you take a very big breath in and then a very big breath out. So the breaths are deep and long. We'll do this together. Cleansing breath in and cleansing breath out. And on the exhale, you can do this with an open mouth or closed mouth, your choice. So we'll do that again. Big cleansing breath in. Big cleansing breath out. Good. One more time together. Big cleansing breath in. And big cleansing breath out. Very good. Now I invite you to concentrate on the breath in and out of the nose. So just very gentle, in and out. Notice when the breath comes in. Notice if the breath is cool as it comes in. And then as it cycles through the lungs, as it leaves the nose on the exhale, is it a bit warmer perhaps? Just take note of that breath in and out of the nose. What does it feel like? And then notice what the substance of the breath feels like. Does that breath feel heavy? Does it feel light? Is there any holding? Maybe any tension in that area? Are your sinuses feeling a little clunky today? I know sometimes with a change in weather, I have days where I feel like I'm not really breathing out of each nostril efficiently. So just take a moment to concentrate on the breath moving in and out of the nostrils. And if there's any part of that system, the nostril, the sinuses, that feels like there's tension there, just send a little mindful breath into that area and allow it to expand and open. Good. Now let's move that breath down into the chest. So obviously the breath comes in through the nose, but this time allow that breath to enter the nose and the chest. So when you breathe in, the chest rises, and when you breathe out, the chest falls. So just an in and out through the nose, in through the chest, and then exhaling, that breath leaves the nose and the chest falls with the outtake of that breath. So allow the chest to be your focus now. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in, chest rises and the ribs rise right along with it. And breathing out, the ribs fall and the chest falls. Good. And if there's any areas of tension or holding in the chest, there's any constriction there, just send the breath into those areas, filling up the lungs, all parts of the lungs, filling it up to its fullest, and then allowing that breath to exit and create expansion in that area. Good. And then let's breathe through the back body. So that will be our area of focus. We're going to pretend that you can breathe in starting at the tailbone. So right at the bottom of your spinal column, the breath in enters at the tailbone, rises up through the spinal column, and exits at the cervical vertebrae at the very base of the skull. So the breath is cycling up through the spine as if it were a hollow tube. And you're just inviting that breath in at the base of the spine. Breath cycles up all the way up and then back down again. All the way up and back down. So breathing in here, up through the spine, and breathing out through the cervical vertebra in your neck. Allow that breath to come and go. If there's any areas of tightness or tension in the spine, just allow that breath to create expansion and openness and spaciousness in that area. Good. And now the belly. We're going to breathe in through the nose and be aware of how the belly expands out as you breathe in. And then when you let the breath go and you're exhaling here, the belly contracts back towards the spine. You may even want to put a hand on the belly so that you can feel the physical sensation of the breath as it comes and goes and the belly is engaged. So the belly actually does a bit of work in the breathing process. Breathing in through the nose and allowing that belly to expand like a balloon. And then breathing out and allowing that belly to contract once again. In and out, belly breathing. Just concentrate on that for several more breaths. Good. Now I invite you to find one other area in your body where you might be holding tension. Maybe it's the hips, maybe it's your neck or your shoulders. And if there's any tension there or constriction, just allow your breath to enter those areas and cleanse them. Allow that to be your cleansing breath in those places in the body that are still holding tension. Just invite that in for a few rounds of breath. Good. And then just continue to breathe in a relaxed manner, any breath technique that you choose. And as you do, I will read our affirmations for tonight's practice. My body responds positively to nourishing movement of all kinds. I am the keeper and caretaker of the temple that is me. Moving my body, I find blank. And I'm going to let you fill in the blank. It could be anything, the first thing that comes to your mind, maybe joy, maybe strength. You decide. Moving my body, I find blank. Good. Few more breaths here to round out our breathing practice. And just let that breath nourish you, bring you to calmness, helping you find peace, helping you find relaxation, especially at the end of this day. Good. And when you're ready, you can gently open the eyes. And we'll do a little bit of mindful movement with the breath tonight. Great. And we're going to begin by revisiting the Kundalini Camel Rider. We did that before, I believe it was last month. And so we're seated here on the chair. Kundalini Camel Rider is very much like a seated cat-cow, but instead of coming into the full expression, the very, very arched back and head up as a cat-cow, and then the very, very rounded back, we're just doing a gentle rocking back and forth of the pelvis. So moving from the pelvis, allowing the pelvis to float back and forth. When we breathe in, the pelvis comes forward. When we breathe out, the pelvis goes back towards our chair. And then the hands can be on the lap, just like in a seated cat-cow. So they come forward with the in-breath and back with the out-breath. So just try this with me, breathing in and out in the Kundalini fashion, right? And you can invite in a deep breath, such as ocean breath with this. That is when we make the sound of the ocean, or the sound that we make when we're fogging up a mirror, to open and expand the throat and invite the breath in. Or you can do this to breath of fire if you need to bring your energy level up. But this is just that gentle rocking back and forth of the the pelvis. We aren't, we're in the palace tonight, princesses. So we are just rocking that pelvis back and forward. Good. Good. And when that feels complete, come to stillness. We're going to raise the arms up overhead, inhaling and lifting here, and then exhaling, bringing hands to the heart, feeling your thumbs on your sternum, palms pressed together. We'll do that again, inhaling in, bringing palms together, and exhaling, hands to heart. So just take this little flow on your own, really linking that breath with the movement, doing this at your own pace and to the rhythm of your own unique breath. This is probably one of my ultimate favorite yoga postures. I love the sun breath. I think this posture itself is just very cleansing for the mind, body, and soul. Good. Beautiful. Excellent. Good. And the next time your hands come to your heart, just rest there for a moment. Good. And then now we're going to add a little twist to the sun breath. So we're going to inhale, bringing arms up overhead, and then exhale, arms come down and we twist to the left. Inhaling, arms come back to center. Exhaling, twist to the right, arms float back down. And so you know the drill, ladies. You can do this little flow on your own. Inhaling as you come up and to the center. Exhaling as you twist to the left and the right. And just match this movement with your breath. Good. Beautiful. And then let's come to center all together again. Great. And then we're going to do some side bends. These are lateral side movements. And the way we're going to do this, we're going to do a little crescent moon with it. So we bring our arms up overhead and we bring our hands, so we interlace the fingers, allowing just the pointer fingers, the index fingers, to be up. So we're going to bring those arms up overhead, index fingers up. Inhale here in the center. Exhale, bending to the left. Good. Inhaling back through center. Exhale, bending to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale to the right. And so continue on with this movement. And when you bend to the side, lift and lengthen as you bend. So you're really coming up out of the waist and the rib cage to bend to each side. Beautiful, everyone. Beautiful. Awesome. Okay, and now we're going to come to standing. So you can just move your chairs out of the way. Good. I'm going to do some sun squats. This is also one of my favorites. So we come to standing here in the mountain pose. Feet are firmly rooted into the earth. Arms are down alongside of us, palms facing forward. Really hold those shoulders back. So maybe shrug them up to the ears and then let them settle back down so that you feel that connection of the shoulder blades behind you. Okay? So standing here in mountain pose, lifting through the crown of the head. Inhale, bring arms up overhead. And then exhale, fold down so that you're coming down into a high squat, perhaps brushing your fingertips on the earth as you come down. And then coming back up, inhaling here, lifting arms up again. And then this time bringing the hands through heart center as you exhale and come down. Great, folding all the way down over your legs. And then rising up with the breath on the inhale. And then coming down. Hands through heart center and folding forward on the exhale. Lifting up as the arms come up. And then folding forward, exhaling as we go down. And I invite you to try this flow on your own, to the rhythm of your own breath. Good. And just allowing the breath to support you in this movement. Beautiful, everyone. Good. And then the next time that you come to standing, just stand with me one more time in mountain pose. And just feel yourself connecting once again to the earth. So we're going to do a balance pose to close out the movement segment of our session tonight. And so I invite you to find a balance pose that you feel would support you tonight. You can try tree or eagle or dancer, and I'll go over each one with you. So, and you know you have the chair there to hold on to. So that is there, or a table, whatever you have accessible to you. So tree pose is when we root into the earth. We pick a standing leg and a leg that's going to come up to balance. And so we bring that the opposite foot, the heel, to the ankle, the calf, or the inner thigh of the standing leg. And we turn that leg out, so turning out from the hip. And then your hands can be on your hips at prayer, arms up overhead, or you could move your tree around just in any way that would support you. Good. So that's the tree pose. Dancer's pose is when we stand stand in mountain pose, and then bring one leg up as if you were going to march. So raise one leg. And then whatever knee is bent there, take that foot, the top of the foot in that hand, bring it behind you so that you're doing a nice little quad stretch here. And then raise the opposite arm overhead. And again, use that chair for support if you need it. You can stand here in dancer, standing straight, or you can come forward a little bit, whatever you want. Just draw that energy up through the center of your body, through your core. Good. And the last is eagle. You know, in eagle pose, we come into chair, so we are sitting back, weight sitting back in our heels, knees are bent here. We take one leg to be the standing leg, the other leg we wrap around the opposite leg. And then bring arms out in front of us, crossing at the elbows, giving yourself a big hug here. And then bending at the elbows, pressing palms together. And this is your eagle. So tree, dancer, or eagle, I invite you to find your balance pose now that would just kind of express how you're feeling in this present moment, and go ahead and do it now. Great. Good. Beautiful, everybody. Lovely. Good. And yes, I see everybody doing it on each side. That's beautiful. That's perfect. That's what we do. Great. And when that feels complete, I invite you to untwist from your balance pose and go ahead and find your comforts for your deep rest tonight. We're going to do a good old-fashioned yoga nidra, breathing in expansion and spaciousness to all parts of the body. So go ahead and find pillows, blankets, maybe lower the lights in your sanctuary there, and find your special place of rest. Good. And as you are settling in here, if you're lying down on the floor, maybe stretching out nice and long here, arms down at your sides, legs out long, maybe bringing them to the far corners of your mat or your blanket. If you're sitting in a chair, setting yourself up comfortably. And then if you're lying down, maybe snuggling the shoulder blades underneath you to let them softly settle into the earth. And then close the eyes and begin to connect again with the breath. Inhaling in and exhaling out. Breathing in and breathing out. And just beginning to let yourself settle in and really bringing yourself to a state of relaxation and rest. Good. And then starting at the top of the head, allow all the muscles in the face to soften. Soften the cheeks and the chin and the jaw, the temples and the forehead. Soften the muscles in the throat and the neck. Just let everything go here. Find a softness behind the eyes. Good. And And then allow that awareness to travel down into the right shoulder. Take a few breaths there, and then move your awareness down into the right upper arm, the elbow, forearm, wrist, hand and fingers, the thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and pinky finger, so that from the fingers all the way up to the right shoulder, your whole right arm is completely relaxed. And just take a couple breaths here, allowing that relaxation to settle into the right arm. Good. And then moving down the right side of the body, bring your awareness to the right armpit, the right ribs, the waist, and the hip. And from the hip to the thigh, the knee, the shin, the ankle, and the foot, the top of the foot and the sole of the foot, and all the toes of the right foot, the big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and baby toe, so that from the toes of the right foot all the way up to the right hip, your whole right leg is completely relaxed. Your whole right side is completely relaxed. Just allow that right side to be relaxed and settle in with that warm, expansive breath. Good. And then moving to the left side of the body, we'll begin at the left shoulder, breathing your awareness there, and then down into the left upper arm, left elbow, left forearm, wrist, hand and fingers, the left thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and pinky finger, so that from the fingers of the left hand all the way up to the left shoulder, your whole left arm is completely relaxed. Allow the breath to move into all those places in the left arm and bring ease and expansion. Good. Now moving down the left side of the body, the left armpit, the ribs, the waist, and the left hip, the left thigh, the knee, the shin, the ankle, and the foot, the top of the foot and the sole of the foot, and all the toes of the left foot, the big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and baby toe. Just allow the breath to fill the whole left leg, so that from the toes of the left foot to the top of that left hip, your whole left leg is completely relaxed. Your whole left side is completely relaxed. Breathe into those tight places. Breathe in and expand all those places in your left leg and the whole left side. Good. And now the back body and all the points of contact with your back body on the earth or in the chair. back of the heels, the calves, the thighs, the buttocks, low back, middle back, upper back, shoulder blades, back of the head. Breathe in your awareness to all the tight places in these areas, inviting in expansion, spaciousness, and ease. The whole back body is relaxed. Good. And finally, the front body, the ankles, the shins and the knees, the thighs and the pelvic floor, the hips, the low belly, the upper belly, the chest, the ribs, and the heart, your generous, caregiving heart, your heart that gives every day on behalf of everyone who is in your care. Rest your heart. Invite in expantiousness, rest, relaxation, space, and ease into your heart. Your whole body is relaxed. Your whole body is completely relaxed. Rest well. Rest well. Very gently and slowly begin to bring your awareness back to this present moment, inviting in a little movement, maybe wiggling fingers and toes, perhaps gathering your knees into your chest and taking a little rock from side to side, or taking a nice full body stretch, whatever you need to awaken from your sleep. Good. And then just find a place of rest to roll to one side and stay there while I read our closing meditation for tonight. So, this is a quote by Gabrielle Roth, and she says, "The fastest way to still the mind is to move the body." And then this one from Gina Greenlee, "Let your body move. It will give voice to a language that can heal." It will give voice to a language that can heal. Good. Well, I hope everybody's feeling a little more relaxed tonight. It was a joy to be with you as always. Let's inhale and invite our arms to come up as we press the palms together overhead. And then exhale, bringing our hands to the heart, the seat of compassion. The light in me honors and recognizes the light in each and every one of you. And we acknowledge that when we say together, Namaste. Thank you all for being here tonight. So great to be with you. And I will see you again next week. Ooh.
Oopsie. It's starting again. Let's not record.